Hey guys, it's Joe from Backyard Billiards. Got a good treat for you guys today. We're just going over some pool experiences and what we all like and everything. And and don't forget like, subscribe, and hit that bell. That way you get notified every time I go live or put out new content. All right, I got Eric, Pool Guy Simpson, 22 with me. I got Rooster 760, and Darren, Mr. Credit One. Like I said, we're just going to be going over some questions, and also we're going to be talking with you guys at the end of the night. Any questions that you have, any jokes, anything like that you want to say, and you know, at the beginning now, I just got a couple questions I want to ask everybody. I'll ask Eric first, and then Darren, and then Rooster, and then they have, if they have anything they want to ask me, I'll answer, or if they want me to answer the same questions, I'll do so. So let's get on here to Eric first. All right, Eric. How did you get started playing pool? I mean, what was your first pool experience?
Well, my grandfather, to go back in history, he used to be known as Suitcase Simpson, and if my dad's here, he could verify that. He played snooker on a 6x12. So when they bought their house, he installed a 6x12 snooker table. So my first experience ever holding a cue was on a 12-foot table. So I thought that was the norm. So my grandfather taught my dad taught me, and that's kind of where I ever started playing. So seeing a regular 8 or a 9-foot table seemed small, but a heck of a lot easier. But then again, I was probably only 5 anyway, and making a ball was it's super exciting.
Oh yeah, I understand that. What about your first cue, and how did that make you feel when you first had your own personal cue?
So I don't remember the year when I bought my first cue, but it was at I bought a 19-ounce Dufferin-made cue. I bought it from a company called FG Bradley here in the Toronto area. I remember I was in college, so I had about $150 I could kind of invest on a cue, I guess when I was in college, so maybe 2007. And when I phoned the guy saying, hey, this is my budget's kind of what I want, and I was baffled by the knowledge he had, because I just thought all cues were the same kind of back then. So I bought my first cue. I still have it today. I used it for many years before I invested in an 18-ounce cue, which I don't like very much. But it did the purpose, did the job for many years.
All right. Pool friends, just wondering, have you had any friends in the past, and did they inspire you to play better, and y'all feed off each other?
I think more so now we kind of like to feed off each other. Back then, I was probably just a hack player, just happy to run a handful of balls at a time and maybe get a full run out in the game of 8-ball. I've gained a lot of cool friends for sure. I don't keep in touch with many of them now that I live back in the Toronto area, opposed to Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, which is kind of central Canada. But yeah, I think we kind of learn off each other more, and more so with all these tutorials on YouTube and stuff now, kind of show us what we've learned and how to get out of some certain situations and stuff. So.
Okay. Well, okay. What leagues have you been in, and what have they done for your game?
So I don't know if I have a name for a league, like the WPA or the BCA or the APA, nothing like that. It's really just so when I was first in Ontario here, we just did 8-ball. Really, there's no name for it. I moved out west. We did 9-ball, and then back here again in the Toronto area, we just play 8-ball. But there's no association with it. As per how does it improve my game, I would more think so if leagues started back up, because I'm not allowed to even have anyone over right now due to obvious reasons with the Canadian government and all. I think because of my own home practice and what I've been doing over the past year with drills, exams, gameplay, etc., I feel that when I go back to my 8-ball league, I will do fairly well. So lots of practice, I would have to say, has bettered my game over the time.
Oh yeah, definitely. Where do you see your channel going in the future from here?
That's a good question. I'm just here to get people together. Let's have some fun, whether it's a Sunday afternoon or a Friday night kind of thing. Whether it's run some challenges, run some just fun gameplay. Just all in all, good group of guys having a great time. That's all I want to do. I'm not going to get into the tutorial stuff because there's a lot more smarter people that have a lot more better editing software than I do. So I'm bowing out there.
All righty. Okay, what's your favorite tip to use personally? And, what name brand and just what you prefer on your tip?
So when I bought my Revo, it came with the Victory Soft. I didn't care for it. I did get a Kamui black or a soft black or however it's phrased. I've been really enjoying it. However, I like to really keep my tip a dime shape, so I really like to scuff it up quite a bit. So I do wear the layers down. However, I'm going to be getting a new tip, I'm assuming within the next month, maybe 2. And I'll most likely go again to the Kamui Soft, or I'll even try the Super Soft. We'll see.
Yeah, sounds good. What is your favorite game of pool, and what is your best game of pool? If they're not the same.
Yeah. I think the go-to is 8-ball. Everyone knows the rules, kind of thing. Next to the bar rules that get made up as you evolved. You miss the 8-ball to lost at a game kind of thing, which I'm pretty sure that doesn't exist bar. But I enjoy 8-ball. That's my go-to. Lately, it's been 9-ball. I do enjoy that, but I like what Gizmo and Ruben did not long ago. The fast rack age. I like that. So that's kind of my new favorite.
Yeah, it's certainly different for sure.
Yep.
Do you have a favorite ball set?
So I enjoy the Aramith Black. I'm quite happy with that purchase. I do like the and if I could afford it, I would buy the Predator brand. The Akos. I can't even think of the name of it. The one with the Predator logo on it.
Oh yeah.
I would love to buy that one just because it's different and I like being a little bit different. But as for name in general, I guess it would be Aramith because they're also associated with it, right? Aramith is associated with the Predator, so.
Okay, what's your favorite table and what's your favorite size of table?
So size, I'm going to say 9 foot. Everything around here is 9 foot, so that's what we use for playing on. As for style, I want to say Canadian Billiards makes a table called the Barn, and it looks like a rustic wooden table. It's modern, but it looks really rustic wood-like. It looks like big beams and stuff. So, as for like a clean look, it is clean, but it has that really old school look to it. So, if I could, I'd buy it, but it's also like $8-9 grand. So, out of my range.
Oh yeah. Okay. Now, can you name me 3 of your favorite players that maybe inspired you to play and you look up to?
There is a lot of them. I like Skylar Woodward. He's a super young kid, and he's just kind of always been growing up around pool, and that's his life, which is really cool. I don't know his history other than the fact he's been playing pool, and even at a young age, he's made it to the Moscone and stuff. I like Jasmine Notion, the Australian. The fact that her and her brother are like world champions, they become a world-class pool player is one thing, but become a brother-sister comp, that's huge. I don't want to be obvious, but I want to say Earl just because of his. No, I'm gonna get rid of Earl. I'm gonna say Alex the Lion, Pega Lion, because he interacts with the crowd, gets them amped, and I think that's what pool should be about. It's always about being serious and having fun, but he just brings it up. He wants to lighten the crowd, lighten the mood. So I'm gonna go with the Lion.
And he's Canadian too, so
He is Canadian, yes, sir. Yeah.
all right. Yeah, that's one thing I like about you said about Jasmine and Albin Ocean is it doesn't really matter who your family is. Pool is a good equalizer. It doesn't matter where you come from, how much money you got. It all depends on if you can bring it. And for the brother and sister both to dedicate their lives into playing, man, it was pretty awesome.
It
But
is.
I appreciate you. I'll hit you back after I make my round. I'm gonna hit up Darren real quick. Darren, what's up, man? Can't hear you, buddy. Hang on, I got you.
Oh, there we go.
There you go.
How we doing?
Doing good, doing good. All right, are you ready for your questions there, sir?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. How did you get started in pool?
So for me, I guess kind of a tragic story that turned into pretty good for me. When I was in 5th grade, my dad went to prison for attempted murder, and my mom left him at that point, and she found a new guy, and he was a pool player, and all his buddies played pool, and he got us a new place. He had a pool table in the house, and that dude ended up being my stepfather. And so I probably started playing in 5th grade, maybe 6th. I think I was 12 though, so that was my start. It's kind of tragedy turned into something. I mean, had that not happened, maybe my life's a lot different just because that turn didn't happen. So everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, it's funny how things work out sometimes. What's your first cue, and how did it how did your own cue feel to you?
Now I had to look this up because I couldn't remember exactly, but it was one of Earl's cues called the Maximizer, and it was a graphite black cue that I had, and I don't even know how I got the cue, but I was using it quite a bit, and I loved it until I started to learn more about pool, and then I hated those graphite cues, and I still to this day hate them. But so I think that was my first one though. It's the Earl Strickland Maximizer.
Yeah, so a big difference, man. When you get your own cue, man, it just your confidence goes up because it's just it's yours. I mean, it's confidence booster.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, even if nothing else, it's a little bit of placebo, and that's a real thing. So it gives you confidence. You're right.
All right, man. What about any pool friends you made in the past, and any of them that you look up to as a player, and try to use as a rival or something like that?
It was obviously growing up playing a lot of pool with my stepdad and my mom who were really good pool players. I thought at the time, the main and then playing with their friends. Like I always make the joke that in my family you were either a card player or you were a pool player, and I to this day don't know how to play one effing game of cards. So pool was all I played, and I was interested in it all the time. So since it was in my family, though, I guess they were very influential. I remember staying up late and playing my dad in 8-ball. We just play straight in 8-ball, and he'd kick my ass so many times, and I hated losing. I hated racking, and I'd be bitching and moaning the whole damn time. But I always kept coming back because I loved to play. So, I think every pool player's been through the frustration of that at some point in their life. And some of us are still there, and we get there sometimes. But, we're all head cases.
Exactly, man. I'm telling you. All right. What leagues have you been in, and what has that done for your game? And what's in your opinion, your favorite league, if you've been in multiple?
Okay, well, I've been playing in a Bank the Eight league. It's a doubles Bank the Eight league for about since I was 21. So I'm 36 now. So I've been playing in that league for that long. In that time, there's also another league that I'll play in as a sub, and I play straight 8 ball. But for the most part, most of the league I've played in is Bank the Eight. So slop goes. It's a beer. It's a drinking league. So it is what it is. But the eight has to be called, and the eight has to be banked or kicked. So that's a pretty fun league, and it taught me a lot. Just going from only being a basement player for the most part, I played the pool hall and stuff like that. But for the most part, I shot at home in my basement, with whoever played. Yeah, so I think I don't know where I was going with that, but let's.
All right. Hey, where do you see your channel going? What would you like to see your channel do in the future?
Yeah, so most of my channel, I went over this a couple times, is most of my channel really isn't pool related, but because of the COVID situation, I had nothing to do for a year, so I started doing trick shot videos, and I tried doing drills and stuff that I seen online, and really just getting back into playing again. I had never played that much pool since I was in my teens. Pool to me was I went out and shot at the bar once a week on a Wednesday night. And it was just a way to get out of the house and just go out for one night. But once COVID happened, I had nothing else to do but sit around and play pool. So it was cool to start creating some content as far as the pool stuff goes. But primarily mine is focused on a web series. I do comedy. I'm a creator. And so me and a buddy have been working on a web series for about 4 years. And it's about 2 hack backyard wrestlers who couldn't make it to the big leagues, but they're still stuck in their stupid wrestling gimmicks. I play a character called Jesus on there. And, it's I don't know, that to me, that's still my baby. So that comes first before a lot of stuff. Pool's a hobby of mine. I enjoy it. Pool is just another talent that I have. And I love the game. So, I found myself somehow I was connected with Jim, I think through a challenge or something like that. And, he kind of brought me into this group, and, I've been part of this pool community ever since then. And everybody that's come along the way has been pretty cool. So I'm grateful for that. Cheers.
Yeah, I remember, I first saw the wrestling videos. I thought you were wrestling. I thought you were a wrestler. I'm like, hey, man.
Yeah, it's high quality content. And, art is subjective. I get that. And, certain comedy isn't for everybody. I get that as well. But, it's not from a lack of effort. There's a lot of production that gets put in there. There's a lot of time that gets put into that show, and Ruben watches it. So I got one fan there, but, yeah, so it's just, that's my number one baby. So I want to get back to writing again. I want to go back to doing some sketches and maybe even involve some pool stuff as far as sketches and things go. I have to think about that as well. So balancing both the pool and the web series is where I feel I'm going to be. I took a little break from creating because last year wore me out, and I just been kind of trying to help everybody else build up their channel, because I like to see people. I like to see people grow. It's pretty fun. So.
Yeah, I had something bounce around my head. I might run by you later on. But what do you have a preference on the tip? What kind of tip do you like to use? I know it's a personal preference, but what's your tip that you have on your stick now?
Honestly, I don't have a preference at all. I could play with a medium or soft, but I mean, I honestly have zero preference in that. So it's not even really been a concern to me. I'm more concerned about how the cue feels, how it shoots, and if I can get play off the tip, I think the tip works fine. I can shape it a little bit, to my liking, and play it from there.
All right, if they're not the same, what is your best and favorite pool game?
Well, I probably have to go with Bank the Eight, just because I've played it for so long, and it just taught me a lot more about. I really never played Bank until I played League Bank like that, so it was really fun to. Just to know, how to play, 1 rail bank, 2 rail bank, whatever, 3 rail, 4 rail, 5, however, it really elevates you to the different level of the game. Because then it also opens up to how you can play and maneuver around the table, to develop your patterns and stuff like that too. So it kind of works on both ends, and it's just something I never had until I played the bank. So.
Do you have a preference on ball sets?
I do not. No preference there. I would like to have ones that don't have chips and scratches and all this other crap that are in mine. Mine are pretty beat up. I might have to get me a new set pretty soon. So if you guys have any advice what I should buy, drop it in the comments, and I will take that into consideration.
All right. And what's your favorite table and size?
I mean, if I could have one, it would. I don't know. I mean, a 9-foot diamond would be ideal. I don't have enough room. I can barely get this 8-footer down here, but yeah, I don't really have a strong preference on a table. Something that rolls true, and the rails aren't dead, you know. But I'd shoot on anything. I'd be grateful to play in anything. I think about people that when lockdown happened didn't have a pool table in their house at all, and it's just like I can't even imagine not having a pool table in 2020. It would have just completely broken me down here. So yeah, I would take anything, and I think anybody should.
I know, man. I was playing out my front yard for a while before I got my building up and everything. Everybody who knows me back in the early days, man, you know, I just had my table. You know, I was playing out my front yard, you know, under a tent, you know, until I got my building fixed. So I know all about that.
When I first started watching your stuff, I remember that, and I was watching you play, and it looked like, you know, like I always made the joke before that it looked like your pool table was on the Titanic, because it was just like completely wobbled one way, and you were trying to make shots, and it looked like a carnival one, and it just all rolls to one side, and you just have no chance of making a ball.
Yeah, have the little.
This guy loves pool.
Little cardboard table I had, even the coin operated table I had. From what I got now, you know, the ground is so uneven. I had to have, you know, so many bricks up on one side. You know, when you were shooting on one side, it was up at your boob area. Then the other one, you know, at your thigh area. You know.
Yeah, I mean, and when they say that there's levels to this game, having your pool table on bricks is definitely a level of its own. You know what I mean? So.
But at least I had something to shoot on.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got something. It was better than nothing.
All right. Give me your 3 top pros that you like, that inspired you, that you know wish you could be like, or inspired you to play.
You know, I think a really easy one for me is Efron, but I want to go through a couple of them. I think Earl has to be mentioned, because we talk about how dead pool is, and we talk about, you know, what's not attractive to it. And I think that there's just a lot of dry personalities, and you can say what you want about the guy, but the guy could draw money. And there's a lot of guys who may be way better pool players than Earl was or ever has been, or whatever, you know, whatever your preference is. But those guys can't draw money because they don't have the personality, and they don't have the quote unquote swag that guy had. So something has to be said for that. And then I would think someone like Willie Mosconi has to be mentioned, because he brought the opposite to the game. He brought, you know, it was more elegant, and it was buttoned up, and it was clean, and it was, you know, it's okay to be, it doesn't have to be, pool doesn't have to be one thing from one personality. It can be many things, you know. So as long as you're a specialist in your person, as long as you know your personality, and, you know, but not all people have that charisma. So I was always just thankful for those people who did. And I would also like to say to Allison Fisher and Jeanette Lee, I watched a lot of 9-ball growing up, and the only pool that I could ever find was on ESPN2, and it was always women's 9-ball. So, I mean, watching pool on TV, like that's where I see. I mean, I seen a lot of girls play before I seen the men play. It always seemed like the men were only on television if they were doing trick shots, and the women played 9-ball because I don't know why. The game moved fast, and it drew men to the screen. But so I think they have to be mentioned as well.
Oh yeah, the thing I can tell you about Earl that I love is the fact that he wears his heart and his emotion on his sleeve, and he'll let you know. I mean, but it's all heart, man. He's got heart and his soul into this game, and you know, if things are changed that he don't like, he don't mind telling you about it. But if you think about it, you know, he's still old school. He's not Willie Mosconi in them, but he's still close. Right. So he's
but both those contrasts work, though. That's what I'm saying. Is they both, you know, they work for different reasons, and but they'll be remembered. There's a lot of people I don't think will. It's hard for me to name. I could not confidently name 20 professional pool players right now. I just could not do it. I mean, I get whatever that says about me, take it for what it is, but I just couldn't do it myself. So,
well, I can name 20.
Like there's nobody making noise anymore. Like, there's just no noise to it. And I don't know.
I can name 20. You want to hear me?
No, but go ahead.
Professional pool players. There you go. I named all. I named 20 of them. Well, I should say 1 to 20. How about that? 1, 2, 20. There you go. All right. I'll get back around to you, man. I'm going to hit up Ruben. See what he's got to talk about here.
Do it.
All right. The Rubinator. Are we putting you to sleep, buddy?
What's up, buddy? Sorry about the Pokemon. Right here. Where is it at? Right there.
Is that Pokemon behind you?
Yeah, but that's the only way I could sleep, man.
That's okay, man. I like Naruto and Dragon Ball Z myself, so I can't say nothing.
Yeah, I thought I was hiding the Super Mario Star too.
Hey, man, can't go wrong with there, buddy. All right, you ready,
right.
You ready for your questions, buddy?
Yeah, before I continue, it is the chair. It's not me. All right, go for it.
All right, man. How did you get started playing pool? What inspired you?
As far as I could think of, it didn't have nothing to do with pool, but it kind of linked me to it. When I was a kid, they used to have that like a Saturday, a kids thing to where you could show up, and at the park they'll bring out stuff for kids to play and entertain them for a couple hours. And they used to bring out those carom boards, and we basically played carom, and it's basically like pool, where we play with red chips and black chips, and you basically hit them in like rack them up like a pool table, and you hit them in the pockets with the stick. It's the only difference is it's like carom. And I remember we used to play that game a lot, and then when I grew up, then I remember seeing a bumper pool, during a camp field trip, and I remember being good at it because of playing so much carom. Playing bumper pool was actually, another form of the same thing, hitting the balls with the cue. And then, of course, the pool table came in, and everything kind of linked into that moment when I was growing up playing caroms.
Yeah, I've always wanted to play carom. I have played bumper pool, but no, I've never played carom. I've never. I mean, I've seen it on YouTube, of course, but after playing pool so much, it's kind of hard for me to really see that as I mean, it looks great from what I can see. I've never played it, like I said, but I have played bumper pool, and that can actually get pretty competitive just as much as pool can. All right. All right. Next question. What is your first cue, and how did it make you feel when you got your first cue?
Yeah, my first cue was a McDermott, and it was probably about the lowest end you could get with nothing fancy on it. I like the green. I would say green's my favorite color, and that was actually my first introduction to credit. I ended up signing up for the first time ever to get it out in credit, and I think it cost probably. I was looking for the receipt not that long ago, but I think it cost me about $120, and I bought that with a Burns VHS, how to play pool volume 1 video. And that was my first purchase, was that McDermott. And it always feels good to have your own cue, especially when you don't know much about cues. You think you're the hottest thing walking in the pool hall.
Yeah, it gives you that confidence boost. I mean, just to know that you got something that's yours, But I got one question that's just for you, because I don't think anybody else has one. But what's up with the belt? How'd you get into that? How'd you get the belt? How do you decide to play people for the belt? And where did that come into play at?
Well, I mean, the belt, of course. This is not just a belt, by the way. This is the Rock belt. And, that's the Rock belt right there. And as you guys know, I'm a big wrestling fan. And everything about wrestling, is like, that's what, pool, like what Darren was saying, that personality. This is one thing that wrestling does do is they have a lot of characters, a lot of personality. And during my matches, I said, why not put up the belt, like, let's play for a belt. Like, we could play for $20, $30, nobody cares, but you put up the belt and everybody wants to see who wins. And so far, somebody did comment once, what would happen if you lose? I guess we'll find out. You guys know where I'm at. Hit me up. I haven't lost for the belt yet, but I know how to pick them.
All right. How did you meet your friends? You meet them through leagues, or and what friend pushes you the most?
Well, I mean, I'm a person that gets along with everybody most of the time, and I mean, it's just playing pool. As far as my pool friends, through leagues, tournaments, one of my good friends is Ryan. We ended up meeting each other at a pool tournament. We both used to, get our butts kicked pretty good every time, and we decided to play a lot, and then we turned the tables around, after a while, and then that's how, that was probably one of my strongest pool friendships as far as that. And then, of course, a lot of friends come after that, through pool leagues and tournaments as well and all that.
Oh, cool. That leads me into my next question. I mean, what leagues have you been in, and what have they done for your game?
I've played BCA, APA for many years. They've done good. I always tell people, if you want to know how good you are, enter a tournament. I think tournament has helped my game more than anything else. A league is all right. The only difference about a league is there is a handicap. You never know who you're going to play next. And it's always different people you're playing. But a tournament, the cream always raises to the top in a tournament. I mean, even on any tournament you see, whether it's golf, ping pong, or spitting a seed down, how far you can spit out a seed, you're always going to see the top players in that sport race to the top. And during a regular tournament, you always know who you have to beat. And if you do get past certain people, you've already, you're playing better than what you have.
All right.
As far as the league, like I said, I don't mind league. I kind of liked it. As far as me, I've had a lot of success in leagues. We've gone 4 times to the World APA Championships. I've done it 3 times with 3 different teams. And I think that's a big accomplishment that, I'm proud of, because, one of those, my teammate goes, "You never see it again." Next year, I did it again with a different team. So, like I said, that's another thing. But as far as my game, like I said, it's okay. But with the league, it's a whole different mindset, because you're not playing for yourself. You're playing with a team. I could lose every single game, but at the end of the night, I'm going to make sure my team wins, their matches. And we're going to, end up going out of those 3 times, believe it or not, going to the World Championships, we made it on a wild card. And, that tells you as far as what that means with, playing with a team.
Yeah, I know. My favorite thing about tournaments is I don't like hustling. I don't like the hustling scene, but I do like competition. And the good thing about tournaments is, say, you put $50 in to join the tournament. That's all you have to worry about losing. If you go 2-0, you lost $50. Gambling, you basically play until you go broke most of the time, because you can't quit while you're ahead most of the time. you can quit when you're below, but basically somebody's got to quit when you're hustling around here anyway. But tournaments, there's no hustle to it. There's no pretending to be bad, to get more money. Everybody plays their best, and whoever wins wins, and that's what I like about it. It's good equalizer. All right, Ruben, where do you see your channel going in the future, and what would you like to do going forward?
I mean, as far as the channel, I mean, I never thought it would be where it's at, which, I mean, it ain't compared to any other channel. If you think about it, I mean, to me, it's done more than what I ever thought it was going to do. And it was more of putting up a certain video that I still haven't put up, but I keep saying I'm going to put up. And it was just about putting that video up. And it did have to do with the belt, wrestling, and of course, you guys probably have known me from now. I'm not that all normal by now. And, it had to do with all that. And that's how the channel got started, was just putting up that, I think it was about a minute video. And I was thinking it was going to get 1 million views. But, after about 3 months, it got past 100 views. And I was like, wow, I was like, that's crazy. I can't believe 100 people wasted their 1 minute of life. And then I got hooked on wanting people to see more and more. And, that's how every video kept going after that.
I want to put these two questions in one. Okay. What tip do you use, and what's your favorite ball set?
Well, I started off by liking the pros. Then I went to a layered tips, which it was the pigskin layered tips. And then, of course, Gizmo introduced me to the sniper tip, which I like the sniper tip. And then I bought my last Viking, and it came with the Kamui medium soft. So far I've actually been liking the sniper and the Kamui medium.
Yeah, I like the Kamuis myself also. What is, if they're not the same, what is your best and favorite game?
Well, when I first started growing up watching it on TV, like Darren said, it was 9-ball. Most tournaments I entered as I grew up was 9-ball. That's kind of what was played more at the pool hall. Then as I grew up, being able to go to a bar, most tournaments at the bar were 8-ball. And it basically depends. Like if I go to a pool hall, I like playing 9-ball on a 9-foot table. If I go to a bar, I like playing 8-ball on a bar box. And I like them both the same. I don't have really a preference. And, it all depends on who you're playing the game with to make it, interesting and competitive.
Yeah, no matter what table size you actually play on, they all come with their own challenges, right?
Yeah. And as far as the ball set, I've been liking the TV Pro Cups from Airmith. That's a really pretty set. I think it comes with a little bit of everything that the other balls come with. And I've actually been liking that set.
That's the one with the pink 4, right?
Yep, that's the one with the pink 4 and the 12. Or the 14.
Well, you kind of already answered this, but what's your favorite table and what size do you like the best?
Yeah, like I said, it all depends where I'm at. If I'm at a pool hall, I have to play on the 9-foot. I like, of course, the gold crowns. That's what I grew up in. And as far as the bar box, like I said, I like the valleys. That's what most of the games around here are. Diamonds, like I said, they're beautiful. They're nice. The only time I ever played at a diamond was when I would go to BCA Nationals. Our last pool hall, which it was Classic Billiards, they had all diamonds there, but unfortunately they ended up closing due to COVID. And those were the last diamonds. If you ever seen me playing over at Grego's house, that was one of the diamonds from there. This last Saturday, I got to play on one of their 9-foot diamonds that used to be in there. And so I'm glad I could still play in those diamonds that were there, but yeah, those were pretty nice to play on as well.
All right. I know this is a hard one for you. I already know one of your favorites. He did your table last time. But name three of the top pros that inspire you or that you enjoy watching.
All right. Well, I don't want to give away Chuck. Chuck, you're one of my top ones, but I want to leave room for the other guys. Uh, of course, it starts with Efren and Earl. I think that duo they had together as I started watching it was pretty awesome. And I mean, if you guys been on my channel, of course, here's Efren right here. Um, One of the highlights, of course, for my pool, I got to play Efren, and I actually got to do pretty good. I was up on him a couple of sets, and it was a great feeling. And another guy, like I said, Earl, he's another one of my great ones. I tell a couple people, the way I feel is you got Efren as the good angel, and then I got Earl as the little devil. So that's kind of what balances me when I play. And then other favorites, of course, there's so many. I mean, Shane, of course, is one of my top ones. But when I was growing up, we had Rodney Morris. I always liked his style. I liked that fastness and stuff like that. And another one was Mika. And I don't know if you guys know, I got to play Mika as well. And that was actually another highlight, that I've had. And it was all in a tournament that I actually did really well. I got to play Mika right after, almost when he lost the Hill match with Rodney Morris. And they brought him over my way, and he wasn't in a good mood playing me on the loser side. But like I said, I ended up winning about 4 matches that day. I had Oscar Dominguez about 4-0, 4-0, 3-0, and I was playing really good at that time. And he came back like a true champion and warrior, and ended up coming back and putting me on the loser side. And then I won another couple more matches on the loser side, and then that's where I ended up playing Mika, and unfortunately, that's the one that everybody got to see, and it's online. Like I said, I was doing so good that the announcer, which is POV, he's like, "We got Mika Eminem versus who is this guy?" Because it was like I was unheard of, and it was like that far in the tournament where he was like, "Who is that guy?" And that's my name online, is "Who is that guy?"
That's great. I'll go over myself. I'll kind of answer my questions myself and tell people, a little bit about myself. All right. Question one for myself is, how did you get started? Well, funny thing is, I never thought I'd be a pool player myself either. Met my buddy Chris. Y'all all seen him on previous live streams before. Basically, not to butter it up, but we, cut school together and went and played. There was a place where you could play quarter game on a bar table, Valley, near us. So we'd take all our money we could get together and we'd cut school and go. And, he was teaching me along the way. And, that kind of, it kind of became just a little something fun to do. And gotta go and go to another question too. What was my first cue? My first cue was a player. It was just a solid color. I think it was purple. Kind of like a marble looking color. It was purple, had a little black specks in it, like a marble. And I paid like $80 for it, I think. But as far as I was concerned, I was Fast Eddie Felson. From a young age, I just, that's how it made me feel. I couldn't get beat, and just, it just, a whole new feeling when I got that stick. pool friends and how they made me feel. Well, I just mentioned Chris, my buddy who got me started. And it's a funny thing because when we first started playing, we were trying to make money at it, so we play partners, and if I'd miss, he would scold me. I can't believe you missed that shot. So in order to basically shut him up and get him off my back, it made me play better. Rough way to learn, but, it worked. Now, he has a hard time playing me because I just took it to another level than him. Because I just never stopped going. Let me see. What leagues have I played in, and what have they done for me? Okay, I played in a lot. I played in APA, US APL. That's how I got my Fargo, which is the same one that Shane promotes. I've been in Napa Pool League. We have a pay league around town called Players Pool League. It's just a eight ball, 4 games. You count up your points, and then the top score wins. But league has really made it to where, like I said, I've never really been high on money as far as on a high income, and I've never had I got a big family, so it's not like I can travel. So what league done for me was it made it affordable, and it was one night a week or 2 nights a week, however you want to do it. And you're talking about $6 to $10 a night, and I can play all night long. They open the tables for you, practice table. You can practice all night and not have to worry about having the money or And you also play good competition. They really are good players in the league, especially if you're a high level yourself. If you're a high level, most times you're going to play a high level player. So there's a lot of competition. Like I said, there's a lot of handicaps. There's no handicap perfect. I don't care what league you're in, but you just got to deal with what's in front of you. So where I see my channel going? Where do I see my channel going? Okay. I do want to do mostly live stuff, practicing. I've got my challenge matches I'm doing once a week. It's going to be on Mondays, 9 o'clock. Next week, I'm planning on doing a double feature for my first match. And I got everybody's name for right now. If you don't have your name in, don't forget it's Backyard Billiards 2002 at yahoo.com. And just send me your email, phone number. That way I can put you in. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to draw your name. And then the King of the Hill stays. And then the next 3, I'm going to have 4 people. 4 people. The King of the Hill stays. The other 3 will be put back into the drawing for the next week. But I'm going to have a double header, my first time next Monday. So keep an eye out for that. What tip do I use? I use a Kamui soft black clear. I used to shoot with a super soft, but it was just a little too soft for me, so I upgraded. And my first tip that I used and I stuck with forever was a Elkmaster, which I love the Elkmaster, but you had to shape it a lot, and you go through them an awful lot. Cheap tip, you're talking about $6 to $10, and it would just, it made a cue ball move, but like I said, it would mushroom out. You'd have to shape it a lot. So, if you want to, it was just made more sense to invest in a tip that lasted 3 times as long. You know what I'm saying? So that's why when I went to Kamui. All right. What is my best and favorite game? Okay. I'd say my best game would probably be 9-ball. And then my favorite game would be One Pocket. The reason why I don't say One Pocket is my best game is I don't get to play it as much as I do 9. There's not as many players out there playing it, so I don't get as much practice as I would like. But it's always, a 9-ball, 10-ball, or 8-ball around here. Favorite ball set? I have to go with Aramith. That's usually what I'm used to playing with. Uh, the only other set I really played with was Cyclops. But you know, Aramith, they've been around what 100 years. So I mean, all these other ones are pretty new. So I'd like to go with somebody that knows what they're doing as far as making pool balls. So they've been around 100 years. You can't go wrong there. Um, Favorite table and size. Although I like diamonds. I like anything really 9 foot. I'm gonna go with Ruben on this and say that the Gold Crown is my favorite. Um, Pocket size don't matter to me, but it's all about the rails, how it comes off the rails. I mean, as long as you got a table that can have rails that go good, it don't matter 7, 8, 9. The rails are what makes the difference. Any game, like I said, told Ruben, any game on any table has its own challenges. I mean, a small table, bar box, you play 8-ball, you got a lot of cluster. You got, position is a little bit different because, you roll half a ball, you're behind another ball. So, to where a 9-foot table, you play the same game, you have a little more room to move around, but your shots are a little bit harder. Okay. My last one, my favorite pros. Okay. I'm gonna have to go with Earl also because he plays every game with his heart, heart and soul. If he gets upset or not, but he still plays with everything he's got. And I grew up with Johnny Archer. He was one of my big ones as far as when I was growing up. He's one I aspired to. But I'm not gonna go with the obvious as Shane. I'm not gonna go with him. I'm gonna go with Efren because there was one game that Efren and Johnny played together. I think it was like 2007, where I used to get upset when I'd lose or miss a ball. It messed my whole game up. And I think Johnny lost a lag, and Efren broke and ran, I think, 3 games on him. And then when Johnny got up, finally, after Efren missed the 5 in the side, Johnny ran out another 3 or 4 games himself. But I'm sitting there thinking, while Johnny's sitting there in his chair and Efren's running these racks on him, he's having to keep his composure. And so when he got back to the table, he was able to run racks too. To where, if you were just sitting there festering, I'm 3 or 4 games behind, how am I going to catch up? If you can just keep your focus, man, and play your game, you can catch up. All right, I'm going to bring everybody in now. All right, what's up, everybody? You're muted, Darren.
What's up, everybody?
Sweet. All right.
I missed you guys.
I just wanted to hit up everybody in the chat, and just tell everybody, we appreciate everybody in the chat. I've been reading.
We love you.
Yeah. No. You talking to me, Darren?
Yes, you, but yes, everybody in the chat. I just want everybody to know that everybody is loved here. It's not all about us, but it is in a way. So carry on, Chuck. Sorry.
But I was going to ask you, Eric, have you ever met Alex or John Moore?
I have not. I do know he does frequent a local billiard place in Toronto. I'm delaying because I'm trying to think of the name of the pool hall. I can't think of the name. If I Google it, I'll find. Actually, I can Google it right now while I'm wasting more time. But no, I have not. I think it would be a lot of fun to meet either or. But if I had an option, I'd like to meet Alex just because of his energy and actually be staring above somebody. Because I'm not a tall guy myself, so that would make me feel tall. So I guess there's a plus.
All right, Rupster. Who have you met? I know you got a pocket full of them.
Yeah. Well, I've been very fortunate. Like I said, pool is my hobby, and I've been lucky enough to be able to join a lot of tournaments, a lot of different places, and travel playing. And I've got to play in the U.S. Bar Box Championship several times, and I've got to play with some of the world's best players next to me or in front of me. And like I said, I've been very fortunate to be able to meet mostly everybody. The one I would always, the one that has got away where I wish I could run into him is Earl Strickland. Other than that, I did get to have the chance, but I didn't leave my room that night for some reason. And Earl was down there playing, and I missed him by a little bit when this was last year. But other than that, like I said, I've been very fortunate to meet a lot of people. I do have a good Skylar story, by the way, Eric. Skylar, when he was pretty young, he was probably around 14. I had a friend. His name's Anthony, and we were actually going to bring Skylar down here to go to Hard Times, and we were going to rob everybody with Skylar, and we planned it for like 2 years, because we had to plan it around his school break, and we're like, all right, we're going to need to come up with this much money. We needed, about right around $800, say, to make sure it cover his flight, cover, during his summer break. He was going to stay at Anthony. It was Anthony's friend. And we always planned, and then all of a sudden he wins this tournament, and it just, everybody knows who Skylar is. And they're going that idea. And hopefully I get to mention it to Skylar when I run into him. I've ran into him a couple times, but he's always doing stuff, during those events. And hopefully one day I'll actually get that story and get his end of that story. I did lose contact with my friend Anthony. Anthony, if you're watching, give me a call, buddy. This is my 5th phone since that day, so. But yeah.
That should be in a museum, that phone.
What's that?
That phone should be in a museum.
It still works.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to a buddy of mine, Chandler. If you're watching, hey man, yeah, I'd love to have you come play with me sometime. I'm glad you're watching. He's the one that told you that who has a ring that he carries around because he can't make a bridge hand because of his fingers. He carries a ring around with him, and he just lays it on the table and uses that kind of like a little bridge. I seen him in the chat. I just want to send him a shout out because he just loves the game. And as far as professionals go, the only one I really have close to me is Laura John Jones. I think it's Hanson now. She owns a pool table store in the city next to me. Now I met Larry Neville, which is he's actually from my home pool hall. If that just tells you the level of play at my place. But no, I've never really had a chance to meet too many pros, or there's not really much going on here other than your, $15, $20 entry tournaments, which is, 15, 20 people. And it's not, there's not nothing really going on in my area. I kind of envy Roopster because, he lives right there in the middle of all of it if he wants. I mean, he can go to California and go to Vegas if he wants. And, I envy that, but, like I said, there's ain't nothing going on in my area. I don't know about you. What about you, Darren?
Are you talking about anything going on as far as pool in the area right now?
Yeah, everything's
there's nothing going on. We've been, there's nothing open. So it's like, yeah, absolutely nothing. Got no news there except still no pool playing. I think they have some stuff, north of me, but there's some areas where people just do whatever they want, one of those deals. So there's some counties that, there's just different rules apply.
Anybody in the chat got any questions for us? We just want to interact with you guys, and Eric, man, you got anything going on in your area? Any tournaments, any leagues or anything?
I'm pretty sure all of Canada is like closed down to that. So no, there's absolutely nothing. I can't in the province of Ontario. So the state for all the Americans out there. You can't have anyone over, to my knowledge. So like I haven't seen my dad in my home. Like he's come to my driveway and we have a social visit. But we have I wouldn't say we have neighbors that would call and report us, but I do know it's a minimum of an $800 fine right now if someone comes in your home that they're not supposed to be. So we don't do anything at all.
Yeah, I would have to. It's not much different here. I mean, where I'm at, they got everything open. I'm talking about bars, pool halls. You can even go in and eat at the restaurants here. Which I don't think is right. I think they need to shut it all down. To be honest with you, try to contain the stuff while they can. But
damned if you do, damned if you don't, man. It's just impossible. It sucks. And no one has the answers for it, right?
I got a buddy that he texts me every week, and
there is a match I'm looking forward to, Chuck.
What's that?
Go ahead, Eric.
I was just saying I have a buddy that texts me weekly that wants to come play, and he says, "Oh, he'll put a mask on and play and stuff." But it's not worth if he ever if that officer drove by and saw something. Like I live in a small town, everyone knows everyone's business. So if there's a different car in a driveway, he can get a fine and we'll get a fine. I'm like, it's not worth it, man. As much as I want to play with anybody else, I've almost invited my wife to play with me, but I haven't got to that point yet.
Yeah, pump the brakes.
Yeah. Whoa.
Just kidding.
So as much as like we're gonna be safe about it, it's not worth it. I can't afford. If I'm gonna spend $800, I'm gonna buy a new Revo shaft or something. You know what I mean? New set of balls. So rather than donate to the government.
Hey Dana, no, I mean, somebody asked me about how I'm feeling, which is Dana. No, I mean I'm 100% better, dude. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I was out of commission for almost a month. As far as I couldn't hardly breathe for a month. It's like you're walking straight uphill, or not straight uphill, but you're walking uphill and you're standing still. You're just, I mean, you can't breathe. I mean, it's bad. But once I got on those steroid pack, Z-Pack, I think they call it. Once I started that, I started feeling a lot better. But no, it's 100% gone now, as far as I know.
Did you get more jacked after you took the steroids?
A little bit, and especially that first time when you have to take like 6 or 7 that first day.
Yeah, they call it cycling, I think.
Yeah. But Chandler asked how much a good used pool table is. You're looking, you can probably find one on Facebook. If you're looking for a little bar box table, you're looking at $800 to $1,000, maybe on Facebook or something. I got mine for $650, which the guy thought it was a 7 foot. I told him after I paid him, I said, it's 8 foot, right? So we took out the measure, tape measure, but I made sure I paid for it first. So, but it needed new rails and new cloths. But hey, $650, I wasn't gonna turn it down. But that's about your normal price for a bar table. Anything like Brunswick or anything, you're looking $1,000, $1,500 at least. But then you still got to pay somebody to move it, recloth it, and all that too. So you're probably looking at $3,000 by the time you're done.
Jeez. Yeah, it's probably worth it though.
Well, if you find me a bar box, man, I mean, you don't have to recloth it if it's got good cloth on it. You don't have to, me and my wife moved mine, which I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't easy. But I didn't have nobody else to help me, so we had to do what we had to do,
Yep.
Let's see the questions. All right, what name brand is your table, Darren?
It's a Kason or Kasan. It's Kasson. I don't think the company even exists anymore. I think they went out of business in like the mid 2000s. So it's an 8-foot. Like I said, it gets I didn't. It was given to me by my stepdad, so he gave it to me as like a housewarming gift. I got my own place, so I wasn't saying no.
All right, now we all
Kasson. I think that's how it's spelled. Kason.
got to get together and name Eric's mustache.
Okay. Now we're getting into the good stuff.
I suppose.
But as far as pool table goes, that's kind of pricey. But you got to take a think of what you're buying. My last table I bought before I got this one was one that was warped in the middle. I paid $100 for it, but you get what you pay for. But I paid $650 for my table, and it could last me a lifetime. So it's really if you buy something for $100, it's not a slate table. That's just the thing. The slate, it will last you for a good long while if you take care of it.
No doubt.
My favorite cloth is Simonis. Champion is the next option I have, but Simonis, I just think it's pretty consistent as far as it doesn't like roll slow here and fast here. It stays pretty consistent the whole time. My rails will be coming. Supposed to be coming tomorrow. It's supposed to be here today, but how UPS is. They said today, then at the end of the day, it said bam, it'll be tomorrow. So I'll get my rails tomorrow. Hopefully, I'll have them refelted, and I'm hoping to show those tomorrow live. When I do, I'm gonna do the drawing tomorrow too, as far as who is in the first match with me. So
Okay.
I got all 3 of your names going to be in it, and I'll use my my little bingo thing to pull out names. I'll do that live tomorrow at 9 o'clock. Yeah, I'll do it 9 o'clock tomorrow. So I'll put down everybody's name. I got everybody's name. As long as you put your name and number in my my email, which is Backyard Billiards 2002 yahoo.com. I'll put your name in, and I'm gonna draw out 7 names because I'm doing a double feature. So basically, the King of the Hill from the first round will stay, and then I'll bring in 3 new people, and that'll be the next Monday. It won't be tonight, of course, but it'll be next Monday.
Okay. That'll be fun.
And I did change a little bit of rules because when we had the practice we did the other day or last week, and the rule change is as long as you make a good hit on your lowest ball first, anything counts. A called shot on a 10 ball is 10 points if you take an early game. If you break and run with no ball in hand, is 15 points. So, even if you don't take ball in hand and you still take an early game with a called 10 ball, you still get the 10 points. But only if you run out, you get the 15.
Okay.
So if you run out, don't take ball in hand, is it still 10?
No, if you run the whole table and you don't take ball in hand, it's 15.
But if you do take ball in hand?
If you do, it's 10, yes.
Okay.
But you can also take a 3-10 combination and still get the same amount of points as if you ran out.
Okay.
Because that's the way rotation mostly is, as me and you were gambling, and I make a break and I make the 1 ball and I make a 2-9 combination, I win the game.
Right.
I mean, that's just the way, you should be rewarded for making the game ball. So, but with that said, the 15 points is only going to count for if you run the whole rack. But if you make an early game, you still get the 10 points. So those are my rule changes, and those are the ones I'm sticking with. And
Send those to my lawyer. I'm gonna look over them.
is your lawyer in the bathroom?
I'm just kidding. I don't even think I can afford a lawyer. So carry on.
All right. But anyways, guys, don't forget to check out these guys' channel.
Yeah, send the rules to my public defender.
Yeah, keeping it honest.
Eric Poole guy, he's got some good training videos, some good strategy, and what do you call that? Some practice routines. Darren's got some good content about his wrestling and his wrestling and his great trick shots. Roopster 760. I don't know what he does. I think he plays around Pokemon and Mario. But no, he's got some really good challenge matches with his friends, and they gamble and play all kinds of 9-ball, 8-ball. I'm really looking to see some one pocket from him. He just got a table redone, which I really want his table, but won't try not to hold that against him. I get my new rails tomorrow. Hopefully I'll show you guys. But don't forget, check our channel, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell too. That way you get notified anytime that we go live or put out new content. And guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream. But guys, appreciate everybody for coming, and it was really good talking to you guys. And we'll see y'all on the next stream. Thank you.